Hi, my name is Phil Edholm. I'm here at the California State Railroad Museum with a special field trip. This is the Coast Division of the PCR NMRA, the National Model Railroad Association. We're here for the day to see the museum and to see the magic of scale model railroading exhibit that the NMRA has put at the museum. It's an exciting trip. We took the train up this morning. We're going to take the train back this evening. It's a great opportunity. It's the kind of activities that we focus on in the Coast Division and throughout the NMRA to bring members together to see exciting railroad events. Join us next time.
Hello, my name is Bob Garnine, and I'm really excited to be here because I'm modeling the North Pacific Coast Railway, and one of my inspirations is Boone Morrison, who designed and built the North Pacific Coast Railway. So I'm actually doing the town of Occidental right now on my own in two ON30 modules, and so this is one of the reasons I wanted to come here, is to come see Boone Morrison's beautiful representation of Occidental. So I'm excited to be here. I also wanted to see all the rest of the railroad exhibits because every time I see everybody else's modeling, it inspires me to do more. About a year ago, I joined the NMRA PCR and the CCC ON30 club to kickstart my armchair model railroading into full gear. I've been working closely with Phil and others. They've been extraordinarily helpful as I've tried building my first train design in 20 years. So I make a lot of mistakes. I do a lot of things a couple of times, and the group's always there for me to talk to, give me ideas. I had folding legs up under my module, and it didn't work out quite right. I got feedback, so I built legs that are separate. Just an example of the kind of feedback and support that I get from being on the NMRA. So it's really been an effective way for me to kickstart my way back into model trains after sort of armchair railroading for 20 years.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim Radke. I've been a model railroader for about 25 years now. I'd just like to emphasize that joining the NMRA and the PCR is a wonderful thing to do because of camaraderie. Just like today's trip, we all got together on trains from all over the San Francisco Bay Area, came to the Sacramento State Railroad Museum, and it's great to see all the people. So please join the fun. Come and join us.
I'm Pat LaTorres. I'm a member of the National Model Railroad Association and give a real brief view of why I'm involved in this hobby and in the NMRA in particular. The hobby I got into, like many people, having trains when I was a youngster and growing up with them. I was lucky my father worked for the railroad, so I was exposed to it on a much more in-depth personal level. About 1994, a friend of mine encouraged me to join the NMRA, and it was a step that I wish I had taken even earlier, since I'd been in the hobby for 10 years prior to that. But the people I meet in the NMRA are probably the biggest benefit. Today we're visiting the California State Railway Museum in Sacramento, and we're seeing their display on the magic of model railroading. And the gamut of the hobby is so extreme, whether you want an HO scale train to run on your dining room table, a live steam scale locomotive to run in your garden railway, anything in between, you can do it. The NMRA encourages that. It helps people work together. You meet modelers of all stripes, all skill levels, and they interchange information freely, and there are no secrets that I've found in the NMRA. Whatever you do, there's somebody there who's already done it, and they will help you do it better. All I can say is take a look into the NMRA, get to know the people, join the hobby, join the organization, and you'll find all kinds of benefits that go way beyond something you can quantify.
Hi, my name's Charlie Getz. I'm past president of the National Model Railroad Association, NMRA, and we are at the NMRA exhibit on scale model railroading at the California State Railroad Museum in Sacramento, California. Now, the exhibit was done for the purpose of explaining what scale model railroading is for the general public. 600,000 paid attendees come to this museum every year. And showing them what model railroading is all about, we hope, will generate interest in a fraction of those people who may become model railroaders. I was very honored as president to lead this exhibit, to get this exhibit going, and to become the project director of the exhibit. A fellow named Bob Brown, who is a renowned modeler and editor of the Narrow Gauge Shortline Gazette, assisted. A lot of this is his design. We had professional fabricators. It's $1 million project. We didn't use any money from the NMRA dues. It was all volunteer raised money. And the NMRA is the largest worldwide association of scale model railroaders. It is a portal to scale model railroading. You learn how to be a model railroader. You get to meet people worldwide who share your interest. My wife Margaret and I have gotten so many benefits from this wonderful organization. There are conventions where you get together with like-minded individuals. We have contests where you can improve your modeling. We have classes digitally and in person. So there are so many wonderful benefits to this organization. And if those don't count, how about discounts on products? That's always good. So I hope you enjoy the exhibit if you come to Sacramento, and you can find a YouTube and other videos about the exhibit if you want to take a sneak peek online. Just Google the NMRA Scale Model Railroading exhibit, and they will pop right up. Thank you and enjoy yourselves.
My name's Jesse Walden, and I've been playing with toy trains for about 70 years. Back in the early 50s, my father gave me some Lionel trains, which I actually still have a few pieces. I'm not a great model railroader. I've got the great unfinished railroad at home, which we've been working on for decades, it seems. One of the wonderful things, though, was that because of the pandemic and that sort of stuff, we've gotten more of a sense of community than less. We meet on a bi-weekly basis on Zoom, and this is our big event, real live people here, and it's wonderful to see the museum and a lot of the models that we've seen in magazines and things like that, things that we feel, wow, are these great? I wonder what they really look like, especially the items from the Australian modelers and the people that you see on a little screen about that big on your Zoom meeting. So we came up. I've been to the museum before, and I'm just so pleased to see how great this section has turned out.
Oh, hi, I'm Lisa Gorell. I'm one of the directors for PCR, and I was very excited about our trip up here on Amtrak to see the new NMRA exhibit at the California Railroad Museum. And I was just, part of it was being with others, since we haven't seen each other in such a long time in person, although we've been meeting them on Zoom. So it was great seeing people in person, and this exhibit is just absolutely fantastic. And I really do hope it encourages more people to want to join in model railroading.
I came over from Fort Bragg, which is just under a 4-hour drive, just because to me the NMRA is really interesting, because you get to meet people who are interested in the same things that I'm interested in terms of model trains. I got really interested in model trains while I was an electronics engineer, because I heard about Tom Knapp, who had actually made an N-scale Shay with an actual spinning drive shaft. But anyway, I finally got to meet him and got into NN3 and got into the NMRA because the shows they do, the connections, the people, you can see how people are solving the problems. You know, when I go to the art museum, I say, oh, Monet, that's not too bad, you know, but I would have painted this area purple or whatever. The same thing I do when I go to visit people's layouts, because, you know, I would have solved the problem a different way, but it's always good to see what it looks like when someone else has gotten to where they think it's done, you know, what they've been able to accomplish, and then you can see, well, that's very inspiring. Coming to this exhibit, which Charlie and other people put together, it's just totally remarkable to go back through the history of model railroading and the current state of model railroading. Each one of these things has a lot of depth to it. It's remarkable, for example, to see John Allen's, the control panel from his original railroad. It looks like a piece of masonite with some old, you know, wire-wound potentiometer it's just incredible to see all this stuff. I really enjoy meeting other people who come to see it, who have compatible interests. This is really a wonderful event, and I hope the public appreciates it as well.
My name is Joyce Hennessy, and I'm here at the PCR tour of the Sacramento Railroad Museum. I'm hoping to show that there are women in this hobby. I have been modeling for maybe 10 or 15 years, but I grew up in the railroad. My father worked for the railroad. He was a freight inspector for the Transcontinental Freight Bureau, and so I grew up with trains, and now I model in the Garden Railroad, and I have a band that plays train songs, and my band's name is Fresh Picked, and we have a website, freshpickedband.com, and at my website there's a 5-minute video of my outdoors garden model railroad, and I'm a master gardener, so I do the gardening. And the Pacific Coast Regional of the National Model Railroad Association is a great organization. We have a wonderful time, and it's a great nonprofit group to join, and lots of fun. And there are more of us women, so come and make even more of us. Thank you.
Wow, you had a great day. It's been pretty exciting. Here it is. It's the early afternoon, and folks are starting to go their own way. But this is a great example of what being an NMRA member and part of the Coast Division is all about. It's all about railroading, model railroading, but it's also about the companionship and socialization of the group. So we had a great time. Charlie did a brilliant tour, and we look forward to seeing you on events like this in the future. Come join us. We anticipate in the Coast Division having our regular auctions a couple of times a year, but we're going to do events like this, more distributed regional events, but also road trips like this. For example, the Niles Canyon Railroad and other railroad venues. Go and spend the day and really get immersed. So come join us. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again.